Well, hello model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Raul, and this week I'm working on my 65 Impalas here. And this weekend I've been enjoying them, taking my time, not really pushing myself, mainly to enjoy them, a part of it here. But sometimes final assembly can be a little frustrating and getting some of the things lined up and stuff. So, these really aren't any different in that respect, but dealing with that. But I was mainly trying to focus on the convertible here. So that one's much farther along than this one. But some things I'm doing it on this one. It's like, oh, well, I got the paints out. I'll do that one and do the same thing between the two kits. So bouncing back and forth. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm working on this one, working on that one. So a little bit of a juggling act. But anyways, starting with the convertible here, I got much farther along, as you can see. The body, the wheel opening moldings, and all around here, all bare metal foiled. Taillights are foiled. There'll be a little bit of chrome detailing going on some of the taillights, of course. Got all the windshield frame in, all the glass in, and the convertible boot up top fits really nicely. It's got a little bit of a tweak to it, so you can glue it down. It's just a twist in the top here, so you can kind of see it when you look at it at an angle. It's just a little bit of a twist. You can glue it down, but I just like to have both tops. But I generally display this off to the side and put the cover boot on, which this, it covers the bare metal foil chrome that I did there, but that looks great. Love the way that's looking. Of course, that's how it's going to be in my display case with the up top near it. But with all the work I did in that interior, it looks great. So, also got the sun visors glued in, the rearview mirror glued in, glass fitted. Everything fit really, really well. So really happy with all of that. And, some of the finicky stuff was getting some of these hoses lined up and putting them in when it's telling you to do it after you've assembled it and you've got a mounting point there, two on the back there. One of these hoses goes right under the battery. It's really hard to get to. Finish this bottle. The white you're seeing is the white glue that'll dry clear. And then got the whole underside done. Of course, the lower radiator hoses and everything all hooked up. So the whole chassis in there is all set up. So I'm really happy with this one, and the hood fits too. So one of the things sometimes comes up later. Oh, pushed it too far back. Here we go. I just slid right back there. And now it doesn't want to come out. There we go. That was interesting. But anyway, hood fits. Doesn't hit anything. But one of the things I still have to do is I got to black the underside out. And I got to do that on both hoods. So, and then you can see on this one I haven't blacked the inside of that out. But this one, being the 409, got everything hooked up. Everything's looking great. And it's all glued in place. And everything kind of snaps in and fits really well. So, that one's coming along great. Oh, and one of the funny things, while I'm at it. So, same thing with this one. This is the 396 coupe chassis. But I decided that I would glue that AC line into the hole on this. And then when I put it in there, just kind of line them up and get it into the compressor. So I did do that on this one, and it worked out pretty well. But this upper radiator hose didn't want to fit. I had to trim it and make it fit. That was the only one I had to modify. Got the other lower hose in there on this side, getting that in there, but getting everything lined up. Oh, and that steering column right here, that's got a spot, right there in the thing. So when you're putting the chassis into the body, you got to line that up. And then, but it is easy to reach and push it with a toothpick and get it in the hole, which is what I had to do on the convertible. So I anticipate having to do the same thing with this one. But let's put this away. I decided that on this one, I was going to hook up this AC line because it has two attaching points and makes it kind of easier and fight with it. So that when I put it in, it's like just drops right in, and I just got to basically push it and get it to hook into the compressor into its slot. So hopefully that works out well for me, but you know, we'll tweak that, lift the compressor up a little bit, and then get that lined up and glued in place. So it should be pretty easy, but you know, when you got the body on, it can be a little bit challenging right there. But the rest of this interior is looking really good. So while I was doing some of that, I've been working on the glass on this one. So all the glass fits. I did do 90% of the bare metal foil on this, all the way around the windows, the windshield, the rear window here, which kind of odd because it does stick up and out. Kind of interesting. Instead of, you know, I thought about maybe I should have carved this down, make it a little flush, but it's really thin there. So I think the molding would disappear if you tried to do that. Just kind of awkward. But the glass fits in there really, really nicely. So it does fit. And then you got the nice detailed headliner and everything. So that's going to get glued in real soon, but I haven't done that yet. Got the dome light here, which right here. Got two dome lights actually, because there's the convertible one that's not needed. Here it is. So, and then recently I remembered I needed to spray this. So I used up most of the paint I had, almost all of the paint. But, you know, it's funny. You run into things that you forget. Speaking of the glass, forgot about the sun visors here. So, and I want them to be the same blue. But I've got only a few drops left. So hopefully that's enough to cover it. Or maybe I'll cover it in the blue and then do that as a tint coat to get it to match. So that's one of the little projects I got to do. So we'll set that there. But wish I had noticed that when I was spraying the last little bit. It just completely skipped my mind. And also, as weird things go, I mentioned it before in one of the videos. I'll just move this stuff out of the way. You know, I had lost a part. So I picked up a tree off of eBay, and I needed the one part right here. So went ahead, took it off, painted it, glued it into the chassis, and here I am working on it, and it magically reappeared in the box. I looked all over for this thing, looked in both boxes, some of the other stuff. I don't know where it vanished. I made sure I pulled all of these out to make sure it wasn't in there. The only thing I could think of is it got stuck in a coarse sport or another black part, and it just vanished and reappeared. So not really sure, or maybe it was even in this tissue paper. But I looked all over for it and waited for the replacement, and it turned up. It's like, all right. Speaking of things turning up, here's another one that turned up. Here's a Magnum 500 wheel. I think this has something to do with one of the Hornet SC360s when I was working on it and looking for wheels and tires possibly to use to fit. Because I'm pretty sure, flipping this over, this isn't a Johan, this is an AMT. So it probably came from my parts stash of unused parts that I tossed in there, because I don't think I took any of these out of a kit. So, but now it's kind of like, all right, now I've got this extra wheel. Where did it go, and what kit is missing this, if a kit is missing this? So now that's going to keep me up for the next 3 days. But found that today. So kind of funny. Parts are just reappearing here, but all right, it is what it is. And, you know, I took all the chrome off. I got all the chrome over here. One of the things that kind of stopped me a little bit was I pulled this off. I made sure everything fits. So it fits really nicely, and you can see the chrome on the inside of this. So I will be blacking out the back side of this as well. But you can see the chrome, even though it's all blacked out in here, so the black reflects off of it. But I'll black it out. So, but I've got, you know, of course, 2 cars to do. So I'm like, I didn't pull out the black to start messing with this. So put this kind of aside and started working back on this body. Kind of like how I glued the taillights in. Those are glued in and drying. So those will be dry tomorrow. But so this is almost ready for the windows. I'll black all of this out on the sides here, but not the headliner. But I gotta, you know, get outside and spray those a little bit. And just a couple of little things, but it's these little details. I was like, oh, missed that. Oh, forgot this. Oh, could have done that a little bit better. But that's all part of it. If you're not rushing yourself and you don't have a deadline, like I wanted to get that one done, but wasn't killing myself to do it. Just kind of want to enjoy it. So, you know, little things like this, like here's this bottle. This is for the coupe. I already got the one in the convertible, but it tells you that it should be blue. They show it on the side of the box. Matter of fact, let's try not to number it, but I'm pretty sure it's in the side of this box. You can kind of see it, but not really. Yeah, I can see it, but I got decals on the top of the box, so I didn't want to tip it too far over because it'll all dump over. Pick that super glue. Good thing the lid's on. But I understand that some of these were actually clear glass. So the OptiClean, which is GM's brand name for their windshield washer fluid, that's what that's supposed to represent. So it's painted there, and going to have the black cap on it like I did the other one. I like to spray these real lightly with white to give it the off-white plastic bottle, but they're representing that this should be a glass one, which is what the Revell Monogram instructions tell you to do. I actually kind of show you right here. Transparent blue. So I just kind of went with it. Wasn't researching it too deeply, but I just got a couple little things to do, and hopefully these will be done by next weekend. But we'll see. You know, I got to work next Saturday, and there was a lot of things we were doing this weekend. Worked on my dad's T-Bird a little bit. Hung out with the family. Did some things. Went bowling. Did that with my wife and my boy. And my wife kicked my butt. But we weren't really... It keeps track of the score, but we were just having fun. And, you know, some of that other stuff. So, you know, had a good time. Enjoyed the weekend and everything. Hope you guys all did too. So I'll get back to working on some of this, a little bit more foil work and stuff, but I think I'm going to call it the night here. It's getting kind of late, and I got to work tomorrow. So thanks, guys, for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments and everything. I really do appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.